Hello everyone, in this video I'll be solving Cambridge A-Level Information Technology Paper 4 for February-March 2023. I'm going to do the spreadsheet task, which is task 3. The graphics and animation will be done in another video and uploaded. You can find the link in the description once it's uploaded. Open sales.ods in a spreadsheet application. So these are the required files and I have opened the sales.ods. This is the given file. Name the ranges as shown here. C5 to G14 should be named as data. So C5 to G14, select the data, right click, define name, and the name is given as data. So give OK. So the range is named as data. Next, B5 to B14 should be named as times. So B5 to B14, select the given cells, right click, define name, and it's named as times. So you have to name it as times, give OK. And C4 to G4 is named as days. So C4 to G4, right click, define name, and name it as days. In cell J4, add a drop-down list to select a time period as shown. So in J4 we need to get a drop-down list which shows morning, afternoon, all day. So this is J4. Click on the cell, go to data, data validation. You can choose list and we'll enter the values separated by comma. So morning, afternoon, all day. Give OK. So you can see we have a drop down list which shows all the three values. In cells K5 to O5, add formulas to calculate the total sales for the time period selected from the drop down list. In cells K5 to O5. So if it is morning, we have to, here when you select morning, we have to add the total sales for each day. So morning means we have to find the sum of these values. If it's afternoon, we have to find the sum of these values, and all day means these values. I'm going to use an if function here. Equals if cell J4 equals morning, we have to find the sum of these values. So if J4 equals morning, give morning in double inverted comma because it's a text, comma. So this is the condition. Now we have to enter value if true. That means if it's true, what has to be done? So if it is morning, we have to find the sum of these values from C5 to C9. Now comma, we have to enter the value false. That means again we have to check whether it is afternoon or all day long. So we have to start another if statement. If J4 equals, if it's afternoon, we have to find the sum of these values C10 to C14. So sum of C10 to C14, comma. Now the value false, that means if it's not afternoon. So we have already checked whether it is morning, and also we have checked if it's afternoon. If it's not morning or if it's not afternoon, that means it is all day long. So again, we don't have to give the logical test. If this is false, means we have to find the sum of all these values. So in the false case, I'll give sum of all the values. So if it's morning, sum of C5 to C9. If it's afternoon, C10 to C14. Otherwise, if it's not morning or afternoon, it will go to this value, that is sum of all the cells from C5 to C14. Since we have used two if statements here, we need to close two brackets. So this is the, you will get 40 here. This is the required formula. Now we need to replicate this to all these cells to find the sum for each day. So if you replicate, you can see this will become D5 to D9, and this will become D10 to D14, and so on. So if you replicate, you will get the value, but J4 is fixed. That means J4, we have to always, in every cell, we have to make sure J4 is fixed. So let's give $sign to represent absolute referencing. So this must be given in this way. So I have made J4 absolute and it is fixed, so that when you replicate, it will not change. Now you can replicate for each day. So we got all the values here. Now you can check by changing, I'm changing to afternoon. So the values are shown here, all day. So the values are changing accordingly. So that's done. Rename the worksheet as select period. So this is the worksheet. You can double click to rename, and it should be renamed as select period. Save your workbook as a spreadsheet named sales data followed by your center number, candidate number. So file, save as. So sales data followed by your center number and candidate number. Save as Excel workbook. Next, copy cells A1 to G14 to a new worksheet in the same workbook. Rename the worksheet as select day. So I'll make a copy of this. Right click on this sheet. You can give move or copy. Create a copy. So this is the copy of the worksheet. We need to rename it as select day. Select day. Now edit and format the worksheet to look like this. We need to make changes here. So let's delete all this. Select day, sales. It should be given in I4. You have to merge this. This is red color. There is no shading here, and there are no borders also. This day and sales have the same formatting like this one, so you can copy the format using Format Painter. Now let us merge it. And give all borders. Morning, afternoon, all day. The text is center aligned here. Let's make this also center aligned. In cell J4, add a drop down list to select the day. So we need the day here. So in J4, go to data, data validation, select list. Now in source you can enter. Already we have the days listed here. So just select these cells, Monday to Friday. Give OK. So now you can see the days will be shown in the drop down list. In cells K5 to K7, add formulas to calculate the total sales for each period for the selected day. So that means according to the day selected here, if I select a day, in morning you have to show the sum of these values. In afternoon we have to show the sum of these values, and all day means we have to find the sum of these values. So we need to find the sum based on the day. So we have to use a sum or SUMIF function to find the sum, but it's based on some criteria. And also we need to select each column based on the day you are selecting. So to get the values based on the day we are selecting, we have to use an index function. So you can see here, equal to index function will return the intersection of a row and column in an array. So the array means all the values of this table. So I am selecting all the values of this table. Now I need all the values of this particular column. So I will not give any row number here. If you don't give row number, by default all the values in each row will be displayed. I will only give the column number. Column number will be based on the day. That means here you can see Monday is the day. So I'll give a match function. Match function is used to find the position of an object in an array. So I need to find the position of the day in this array where we have given the days. So match, the format of match function is lookup value, comma, the lookup array. Lookup array is this array from where we need to find the position of this value, that is J4, and then comma, we have to give 0 for the exact match. So now you can see I got 1 here because the position of Monday is 1 in this table. Now give OK. Now you can see it is showing all the values in this column because we have not specified the row number. So I need the sum of all these values based on morning, afternoon or all day. So first let's copy this index function here. This index function will be used to get all the values. So based on each day you will get the values here. If I change the day, you can see I'm getting all the values. Now we have to find we have to display the sum. Since it cannot display one value, it is showing all the values in these cells, in the corresponding cells, but we need only the sum of it. So what we are going to do is, so this function is used to get the values from each column. So I will just cut it from there. Now I'll use a SUMIF function equal to SUMIF. So SUMIF function will find the sum of the values which you are selecting from this table. So SUMIF, the range, I want morning, the data from the morning time. So the range will be this one, and the criteria will be morning means it is less than or equal to 12 p.m. So less than or equal to 12. This is a time format. So we have to give as a time format here, less than or equal to 12 as a time format. So it will only select the values from these columns, whichever column we are selecting according to the day, which is less than or equal to 12 p.m. That means still here only it will be selecting. Now the sum range is the values which we have obtained using the index function. So I'll just paste the index function there. You can see I have pasted the index function. Give OK. So we'll get the sum of the values on Tuesday here. You can see the sum here, 20, 26, 32, 38. So we got the value here. Now the same function can be copied to find the sum for afternoon. So I'm just copying this formula. You can paste it here. Now instead of less than or equal to 12, we have to give greater than 12 because it's in the afternoon. Only this difference is there. So you can see on Tuesday afternoon, this is the value, 15 plus 4, 90. We are getting the correct value. Now to find the total sales for all day on each day, we don't have to check for any criteria for the time. We have to just add all the values of each day based on the value you are selecting here. So we just need to use a sum function, no need of SUMIF because there is no criteria to be checked. So equal to sum, and then you will paste the index function there. So just the sum of all the values that we get by using the index function will be used here. So you can see the total for all day, it is 57 for Tuesday. Now based on the values you change, if you click on Monday, you can see here 40, 19 and 59. You can check with the values here. For Monday, it is morning. If you take, it is 40, and here it is 40 for Monday morning. So that is done. For example, with Wednesday selected, it should look like this. You can check the values. Resave your workbook. So just save your workbook. Next, copy cells A1 to G14 to a new worksheet in the same workbook. Rename the worksheet, select all. So we need to copy this again. So right click on this sheet, go to move or copy, create a copy. So we got a copy of the worksheet. It has to be renamed as select all. So let's rename it select all. You need to edit to look like this. So here you can see in I4 and I5 we have to merge. Let's delete this. Select day and time period. Wrap text. Then we have to give day here and sales. So let's copy the formatting. Okay, for these cells also. This should be merged. Let's give borders, all borders. In cell J4, add a drop down list to select the day. So in cell J4 we have to add a drop down list. Go to data, data validation, select list, and the source is all these days. Give OK. So you'll get the days here. You need to make it red color. In cell J5, add a drop down list to select the time period, morning, afternoon, all day long. So here again go to data, data validation, list. Now we need to type the values separated by comma. So morning, afternoon, all day. Okay. So you can see the values here. In cell K5, add a formula to calculate the total sales for the selected time period of the selected day. So here we need to add a single formula based on the day you select and based on the time you select. So here I'll be combining the two formula which we did here. We'll use an if formula to check whether the time period is morning, afternoon or all day, and the formula which we did here will be used in each if statement. So first I will copy this one, this formula. So it will be equal to if J5 equal to morning. If it's morning, I'll use the sum if formula. Here. You can see it is J4 for the day. So you have to just paste that formula here. Now, next we'll check if J5 equal to afternoon. If it's afternoon, we have to paste the same formula but with different condition, which is greater than 12. So I'll just paste the formula here and change this to greater than 12. Otherwise, so we have checked if it is morning, we will show the formula which we have copied from there, that is for morning, and then if it is afternoon, for this value will be taken. And now if it is all day, otherwise it will be all day. So for all day we have to just give a sum function. So I'll just copy this and use a sum function without any criteria here. Only the index is needed. Now you can close the, since we have used two if formula, we'll use two brackets to close it. So you can see we got 40 here. When you change the value, it is showing 38. When you change to afternoon, the value is changing. So this is the formula which we have used here. An if formula is used to check whether it's morning. If it's morning, we will use the formula which we used in select day for finding the total number in the morning. So that same function we have used here. If it is afternoon, that same function which is after 12 o'clock for afternoon have been used here. And then we have for the whole day just the sum function. It is just a combination of the formula we have used in select period and select day. Let's check with this value, Wednesday and morning. So Wednesday morning, we are getting the required value. So resave your workbook. So this is the end of the spreadsheet task. The other tasks will be uploaded in other videos. You can find the link in the description once it's uploaded. Thank you for now.